God, be reconciled to God. And then the kind of warning from Jesus in the gospel that the whole point of this is not to show off. And it's always a little bit of a paradox or irony on Ash Wednesday. We get the cross on our foreheads for the ashes, and at night nobody's going to see it anyway. But if you go to the grocery store, you might have your ashes. That's not a bad thing. These days, it's probably good to let people know that somebody is doing something on Ash Wednesday. Or they might ask you, did you forget to take a shower today? Or what's going on? And you could explain, I was just at an Ash Wednesday service. And then they might say, well, what's Ash Wednesday? And there you go, you're off and running. But the idea of what Jesus is saying is we're not coming back to God to make God love us. We're not doing acts of piety so that God will like us better. God already loves us, already wants the best for us. We're simply coming back because it's for our own good. This is for our benefit, not for God's benefit, to make God feel better. This is a season of self-examination. And that's a spiritual practice that's really a healthy thing to do. Periodically to kind of take stock of where we are. To think about how our life is going and where we want it to go. Just a few weeks ago now, it seems like a long time ago, we had the Super Bowl. And football now is long gone. But one of the things that all football teams do during the season is after the game, during practice the following week, they watch films of the previous game. They take stock of how did we do? Where did we make mistakes? What were really good things we did? And then they prepare, they see films of their coming opponent, and they get ready. And they also look and see how are we doing? Who's injured? Who's really on top of the game? And what should we emphasize in the next games? And that's really self-examination that athletes do. In our church board, the vestry does this once a year, where we have a mutual ministry review, usually in the summer, and we take stock. We look backwards at how we did in the previous 12 months in achieving our goals, and where we did great, where we didn't do so great, and how we might improve, and how things are looking now. We kind of take the temperature of the congregation and get the vital signs and how are we doing. And then we make goals for the coming 12 months. And that's part of the spiritual practice. It's a healthy thing to do in all aspects of life, but especially in our spiritual life. So this is a good time in this coming 40 days to look at our lives, look at our relationship with God and see how things are going between us and God. Look at our relationship with other people and see how those are going and where we might need reconciliation or a change of patterns that would be healthy. One of the things that I like to do is to write down what I'm going to do for Lent. I put it someplace where I have to look at it. So I can't just write it down and on Easter Sunday, oh my gosh, look at all those things I was going to do. I never did. I like to put down things that I might like to leave behind that aren't so helpful, and especially things I want to add in that are helpful and help me to become a better person and bring me more deeply in relationship with God and the people around me. And one of the things that I'm going to publicly say this, that I want to do is do a painting. That's a healthy thing for me to do. I do watercolor landscapes, and I would like, haven't done one for a long time, and I've come up with constant excuses not to do it. And I'm going to sit myself down and at least start the painting. So maybe on Easter Sunday I'll break my painting and I'll demonstrate what I came up with. Well, I invite you to do the same kind of thing. You may not have to write it down, just think it, whatever is helpful. Lent to me is a very positive season if we approach it from the standpoint of how do we want to grow closer to God, closer to the way of love of Jesus, and how might we change things and rearrange the inner furniture of our lives to get more in tune with God.